Tabla more. We call it Mataji.
Welcome, welcome everybody to our 51st day of the extended 21 days of Sahaja Yoga meditation. My name's Michelle Simons, your grateful host and foot soak lead for this evening. If anybody's new to this, please stay with us. And then you're welcome to watch some of the recordings from the website after tonight's session. So I wanted to introduce some of our presenters tonight. So if we could bring them on, we're gonna see from Neil King. Neil is gonna play the Banturi Indian flute tonight, and Tony O'Rourke. So Neil, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Neil. I currently live in California. I'm a software engineer here, and I've been doing Sahaja Yoga meditation since 1997. I'm from London originally, And yeah, it's been a great journey, and I hope you'll enjoy tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Neil. And Tony.
Hi, yeah, my name is Tony O'Rourke. I'm from Connecticut, living in West Hartford, Connecticut, and yeah, I work as also as a software developer at a college, and yeah, I've been practicing the Sahaja Yoga meditation since around 2006 or so.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Neil and Tony. So again, Michelle Simons. I am not a software engineer. I'll tell you a little bit about myself in a few moments, but first we'll just go over tonight's agenda. So the topic for tonight is dealing with stress, finding peace within. And, we can just kind of take a look at that a little bit. In Sahaja Yoga, life is very spontaneous, and for myself, that brings me a lot of joy. It's so much fun. And when I'm not enjoying, I'm frustrated. What I've realized is that's when the ego is sort of trying to control something on the outside. So Sahaja Yoga gives us a lot of relief from that day-to-day stress, because when this energy starts working, when this Kundalini rises and she pierces through our Sahasrara and gives us the experience of the yoga, we start to be able to get into this witness state and watch things unfold naturally. And as I'm saying this, I'm quite nervous because I've never hosted this meditation before. So I'm actually like living that practice as we speak, and just trying to enjoy like the process as it unfolds and not, go too much over. So again, if you're new to this meditation for the first time, some people I know practice other meditations, but Sahaja Yoga is definitely different, and I think you'll find that. And that's something that I found myself too when I sought out meditation. I've been practicing for about over 8 years now, and it's changed. I came in because I was having some anxieties and things like that, and that's why I started seeking meditation to begin with. And when I found Sahaja Yoga, I really found that it takes us beyond the mind, which is really where all the obstacles lie, all the stress, all the things in day-to-day life. It really comes from our thinking. So through Sahaja Yoga, we can actually learn to not physically or forcefully stop our thinking, but with this Kundalini awakening, this energy takes us beyond the mind and takes us into that state of thoughtlessness where we can really let go and we can really surrender. My work, I studied psychology, counseling psychology. I'm not a psychologist, but I practice addiction counseling. And now in this phase of my career, I mainly counsel counselors. So I do supervision for other addiction counselors, and I teach at a community college as well, some of the addiction recovery type of courses. We call it recovery education, which I absolutely love. And for anybody that knows, I'm also in recovery myself. And for anybody that follows a recovery program, we use a concept of surrender, where we surrender our will to a higher power. And so I have 22 years of recovery, and I was 15 years in when I found Sahaja Yoga. And what that did was truly enhance that quality of surrender to a point where, like, I don't hardly worry about anything now. It's so fun and life is so enjoyable because I'm using my hands a lot, because we watch things unfold rather than be like, I need to control this, or this person's like in trouble and I need to rescue them and all this stuff. So it's just like, no, I'm just responsible for myself. And I have tons of compassion and I love people and I care, but I don't have that, like, that sense of fear or the need to control things. Actually, I do feel that way sometimes. So let's be totally honest. that does crop up, but what it is with Sahaja Yoga, we can like almost get ahead of what that is. So when I feel that creeping on, we can practice that quality of surrender, get connected, feel the connection, and then carry on. So without further ado, we're going to start our foot soak. Hopefully everybody has their foot soak buckets ready to go, and their rinsing water. We saw the little slide in the beginning. So we'll start that, and we're focusing, or we're going to put attention on cooling down our right nabi and our right swadhisthana chakra. I was going to read you guys a little excerpt from Shri Mataji, but my book's way over there, so maybe later. But she discusses how when our mind's disturbed by thoughts, it all comes from, she calls it Mr. Swadhisthana, which I think is like kind of funny. And she's like, don't let Mr. Swadhisthana disturb your meditation. So whenever I'm sitting for meditation and getting a little antsy or irritable, I'm like, quiet down, Mr. Swadhisthana. It's not your time, you know, and I try and like, you know, just sort of witness that that's something outside myself. And that's not, you know, these things, oh, my monkey brain and this and that. I don't look at it like that. It's not mine. That's something trying to disturb this connection. And we can literally just be like, okay, enough out of you. My husband says that sometimes. So we're going to start our foot soak. So let's first raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in a bandhan. And as we do it, let's do it together slowly. Let's feel our attention coming up to the top. Tie a knot. We'll do it again with 2 knots. And again with 3. Can put our head up to the sky. And when we do this, we're like moving our hands all the way around the wrists to the ends of the fingers when we're doing this, because that's all the chakras are here. And then we'll give ourselves a bandhan and just put attention on this aura of protection around us 7 times. Let's just hold our hands out for a minute and see how we feel. Let's put our hands down towards the foot soak. We can just ask this divine vibrations, or what we call the Param Chaitanya, to please bring the quality of the ocean to our foot soak, so that it absorbs all the heat, all the negativity, and all the imbalances that may be disturbing our subtle system. We can give it a bandhan, just like a clockwise circle a couple of times over the water, and see if we can feel the cool breeze coming out of the water now. And now let's put our feet in. I like to swish it around a little bit and just mix up the salt. And let's just hold our hands open for a moment. We'll take a few deep breaths. And let's start by just placing both hands down towards the earth. And we can ask, Mother, please absorb all the heat in our subtle system, all the disturbances, all the imbalances. Please cleanse us from within, from any energies we may have absorbed throughout the day, or anything that's kind of lingering around. Please absorb into the foot soak. If we need to like kind of roll our shoulders a little bit, our neck, if we feel those tensions. And Shri Mataji talks about tensions in the body and what that comes from, and this Mother Kundalini that's trying to rise and trying to push up and give us our spiritual ascent. If our Sahasrara is not open and there's like a force, this energy force trying to give us our growth, our spiritual growth. When it can't flow, it gets sort of like stuck in our system, and we get these tensions and things like that. So I just listened to a talk the other day that explained that, and that was fascinating. That was news to me. So we're always learning something fascinating too in Sahaja Yoga. So let's bring both hands back to the lap, and we're going to start by clearing the right side. Usually we start with the left, but we're going to put a lot of attention on the right side right now. So left hand towards the sky, right hand open in our lap. And we can use the ether element too to cool down our right side. So Shri Mother Kundalini, please remove all the heat from the right channel, all the thinking, all the planning, all the nonsense that goes on in our head. Please cleanse us from within and cool us down. Teach us the quality of surrender. We don't have to get to a place where we're backed in the corner and miserable to surrender. We can start now, so that when we do encounter anything difficult in our lives, we have that tool already. We have that skill. So please teach us the quality of surrender. Surrendering the ego, our thinking, all the illusion that we're in control of anything, really. Mother, please let the cool breeze of the Himalaya mountains flow through our right channel. Cool our right swadhisthana, our liver. Let's watch our breathing. Can take a few deep breaths if we need to, if we feel like our breathing is too speedy. And every time we breathe out, let's surrender a little bit more, whether it's surrendering a thought or attention or anything, just let it be absorbed into the divine vibrations, into the Param Chaitanya. Any emotions or feelings, whatever it is, I surrender. Now see what we feel on the right palm. Has it started to cool down? Are we feeling any cool vibrations on the palm? Notice if there's any tenseness or anything in the shoulders or the neck still, and try and loosen them up a little if we need to. And we can bring the left hand back to our lap. We'll just put a little attention on the left channel now with the right hand down towards the Mother Earth, left hand open in our lap. And we can ask the Mother Earth to please absorb any negativities or imbalances from the left channel. All the past, all the attachments, all the conditionings. Please, Mother, unravel our conditionings so that we can truly enjoy our lives and enjoy the spontaneity of Sahaja Yoga. It's such a gift. Please let us acknowledge it and enjoy it. Let's take a deep breath and we'll bring our right hand back to our lap. Again, releasing any tensions. And we're going to take a bandhan. We're going to start with the right Swadhisthana, which is at the like the hip bone on the right hand side. Left hand open in our lap, and let's just do a circular clockwise circle of a bandhan around the right Swadhisthana, and just toss any heat. If we start to feel the heat coming out, sometimes I use my hand and I just check if there's heat pouring out of a certain center, and we can really hone in on it and just give it a bandhan and toss it. And as we're doing this, let's see if we can keep our attention here in Sahasrara, because we don't want to start to like hyper focus in on whatever might be wrong, right? So we want to just keep our attention in that surrender place in Sahasrara at the top of our head. Let's get our attention here. We can even take our hand for a minute and see if we feel the cool breeze. And then when our attention's here, not thinking, then we just use our hand. So that's really important, because if we hyper focus on any catches or negativities that we feel, we end up getting all entwined in them, and it's not helpful for our growth, and we'll just get hotter and hotter. I've experienced, only speaking from experience. So we can ask Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I surrender all the heat, all the disturbances, all the thinking that might be affecting my right Swadhisthana. When this center is cool and clear, wow, it's cooling off a lot. Hope you guys feel that too. When the center is cool and clear, we become creative, and not in a frenzied way, but in a really balanced way. We become creative, and we can create some amazing things effortlessly. How about that? Whether it's our work or it's something that we do for fun. Okay, again, let's make sure our attention is up on the top of our head in Sahasrara. Surrender, allow our attention up, and then we're going to bandhan our right navi around the liver area. Shri Mother Kundalini, by your grace, please take all the heat from our liver. Remember to keep our attention in Sahasrara. Witness ourselves, witness our attention. Where is our attention? Mother, please cool down all the heat from the right side. And I'm just like flicking it off like beads of water into the foot soak as I'm feeling the heat sort of coming out. And then let's just rest both hands on our lap. Deep breath. And raise our hands to the heart and see what we feel on both palms. We can ask, if we don't, Mother Kundalini, please let us feel the cool vibrations on the palms of our hand. Let us experience this connection. So what we can do now is, this concludes the foot soak segment of the program, so we can rinse our feet. We'll take a minute to, if we want to discard our foot soak buckets. And from there, we're going to listen to a talk from Shri Mataji. It's an excerpt. And she talks about how to get out of our thinking and out of the stress by putting attention on our spirit. So there's a little moment where we'll have some time to do that. And immediately following the talk, we're going to listen to Neil's Bansuri flute. And then he'll introduce our next presenter, Tony. So we can all take a few moments to rinse our foot soak buckets, rinse our feet.
Why? Why there is so much problem in this world, and how can you help them? Where is the problem? It is inside the human being. As described, you see, we have come out of animal stage to human stage. We have a human awareness, no doubt. In that awareness, we start seeing all kinds of things that are not good, which are destructive, which are disturbing. If it doesn't disturb you, that means you are not at all a sensitive person. But you are sensitive as a human being. So now, what is the reason for this? In every field of life, whether it is political, economic, or any field of life in which human beings are living, there is a very subtle problem which people don't understand. Now, if I say that there is spirit within us, which shines in our heart, you need not believe. Need not believe. But our attention is not on the spirit. They call it Atma Vimukh. Our attention is outside. At this stage, at the human awareness, our attention is outside. Outside in various things. Now, where should our attention go? To evolve for what? To achieve what? Firstly, our attention has now go towards our spirit, towards spiritual understanding. This is one thing has to happen to human beings to begin with. Otherwise, our attention is outside. We are worried about money, worried about power, worried about this, worried about that, in competition and all kinds of things going on. But if your attention is turned somehow towards your spirit, then what happens to you is that you become the power of the spirit. And the power of the spirit is the highest power that you could think. First of all, spirit is the one that loves. Loves without asking for anything, without expecting anything, just loves. It's an unconditional type of a personality which just emits love. Anybody in trouble, anybody having a problem, just it flows. This capacity to flow in the heart exists, but on top of that is the closing point, is that our attention is not on our spirit. Even in political endeavors or your economic endeavors, any endeavor, what happens is that attention is outside. So you go into competition, you go into this thing, you go on becoming very competent, and then suddenly find another one coming up. There are so many struggles when your attention is outside. Because in attention outside, there is no purity. There is no purity. It's just attention to yourself. And that too is so limited. Very limited it is, because if you pay attention to yourself, there is no end to your troubles and woes. For a person, as they said, really is fact that I don't mind sleeping anywhere. I don't mind eating anything. I am not bothered about all these things. It's a fact. Because, you see, it's not very important, I think. But without thinking, I am made like that, I am like that, all right. But Sahaja Yogis have become like this. This is the miracle, that human beings have turned their attention to their spirit. Then you are amazed how things work out. Without any competition, without any fights, without any quarrels, how your attention becomes fixed on your spirit. The first thing that happens to you is good health. Your health improves. Firstly, if your health is all right, so many problems are solved. This world, I think, at least 30% people are always sick because of the tensions, maybe because of bad food and this and that. This is first thing that happens to you is your health improves. Today now, in Sahaja Yoga, we have people who have learned that by these modern ways of economics and all that, has not given any peace to anyone. We think of America, I've been to America, I know Americans, how terribly disturbed they are. Their families are ruined, their children are ruined, and all kinds of stupid things are happening. Our Indian gurus are going and making a big money there, and they just want peace. They just want peace of the heart. That's only possible when your attention goes to your heart, because in the heart resides the spirit, and the spirit is the source of peace. First is the love, and second, as I told you just now, is the peace. You become extremely peaceful. You become like a witness, and you see the whole drama like a joke. It's nothing so serious to be worried about. It all works out. And this is what one has to become, is to become the spirit, which is your own, which is in your own heart. And that is the source, as I told you, of love. And again I say of peace. And the third thing that happens to you, that the source of spirit being joy, that joy bubbles in your life. It just bubbles in your life. You don't know how to get out of that great ocean of joy. You start swimming in it, enjoying it, every bit of it. You touch all the shores, going around the whole world, their hearts and everything. It is in the heart that resides. Again I say, it is not in the brain. No mental activity can take you to spirit. Spirit is only possible if your attention could be somehow taken to the spirit. And that's possible only through Kundalini awakening. This change of attitude towards life, this change of complete peace and joy has come to you all because your attention is now on your spirit. Now you don't think of money. Money walks your way. You don't think of power. Power walks your way. And the power of the spirit is the highest, the most powerful, and the most righteous thing. It is not necessary that you should become a sannyasi, sadhu baba, do all kinds of things. No necessity of these rituals. The spirit is residing within you. Already all you have done in last lives. Now this life, only thing you have to do is to put attention to your spirit. And that's only possible through the awakening of this Kundalini, the primordial mother. When she starts, that's also your own. When she starts rising, she passes through these centers and enriches them, integrates them, and pierces through the last fontanelle bone area and makes you connected to this all-pervading power of divine love. But this power of divine love is not only the love, if you want to say, it is also peace and joy. And also it is the superior wisdom.
So let's maintain that state of thoughtless awareness for a few minutes. Just try to keep our attention at the top of the head. You can close our eyes. See if we can just experience that gap in between the thoughts as they come and go, and how that gap increases.
we can stay in that state of meditation that Neil's flute playing brought us there. So we'll continue to let that state of meditation grow within us. So today, since we're focusing on the Svadhisthana and Nabhi, so what we'll do is we'll take our left hand and place it on our liver to help pull off more of the heat of the liver. So we'll keep our attention at the top of the head at Sahasrara. Allow our attention to be pulled inside. You can ask Mother Kundalini, please remove whatever heat may be remaining in my right Svadhisthana. Please let my liver cool down. Breathe nice and deeply. Svadhisthana is the start of the right energy channel. So as it gets overheated, we can ask for it to become cool. So instead of being like the sun, we can say, please make it cool like the moon. Please make our attention gentle. Now I can ask Mother Kundalini, please make my attention pure and innocent. Please make my attention capable of experiencing joy. Bring our left hand back towards our lap, but keep our attention on the liver and Svadhisthana. We'll just notice the state of our attention, just to see if is it steady or is it moving around? Just witness it and see if you can keep it steady. You have a thought, you can say, not this, not this. Please make my attention like a blank canvas. We can raise our attention just a little more to the level of the navel, also on the right side. And we can place our left hand there as well for the right navi. You can ask Mother Kundalini, please make me a dignified person. Please awaken the royal dignity within me. Please make me aware of all the dignity in all the other people I deal with as well. The right navi also has to do with our finances and the household life. So we can say, Mother Kundalini, please support my finances. Please make me prosperous. Please help me use money auspiciously. Bring our right hand back to the lap. We'll keep the attention on the right navi. Just allow the Kundalini to open up the chakra. So we can place our right hand on our heart. And as our attention is purified, then the spirit can come into our awareness in our heart. So we can say, Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am the pure spirit. Humbly ask all the misidentifications to be washed away by this divine power. All the identification with my thoughts, my emotions, my physical body, all that. I am the pure spirit. Mother Kundalini, please allow me to feel peace within me. Please give me the absolute security within. Just allow our attention to go to our heart. Allow the Kundalini to dissolve all the attachments, all the things preventing us from knowing ourselves as the Spirit. Next, we can place our throat on our Vishuddhi chakra at the throat. Here we can say, please establish the witness state within me. Instead of identifying with our thoughts, let me allow to see the drama unfold before me. Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am the pure witness. Next, we can place our right hand on our forehead. Quite simply from our heart, we can say, I forgive, I forgive. Allow the balloon of our ego and superego, allow these balloons to be sucked in at this level so we can really enjoy the state of thoughtless awareness. Just to help our attention, we place our right hand on the top of our head and press firmly and rotate and say, please establish my thoughtless awareness. Please put me in thoughtless awareness. Please allow me even more to experience the yoga, this connection. Slowly bring our hand away. But we'll keep our attention at the top of our head. That steady attention, keep it at Sahasrara. Say, Mother Kundalini, by your grace, I am in thoughtless awareness. Stay in thoughtless awareness for a couple minutes, just allowing the state to expand within us. And if we have a thought, we can say, not this, not this, and gently bring our attention back to the top of the head. So we'll enjoy this collective state for a couple minutes, allowing it to penetrate within us. We can finish the meditation by raising our kundalinis, put ourselves in bandhan. So this is the motion. Helps to keep our attention at the top of the head and in Sahasrara. Ourselves the shields of protection. Help us maintain this state.
So thank you so much, Neil and Tony, for the beautiful Bansuri Indian flute music. And Tony, thank you for that awesome meditation. Feeling much more peaceful than when we started. So you guys are awesome. Before we go to our question and answer segment, we're just going to have a couple of announcements. I think we have some slides to show you guys. Please, by all means, use our program resources. The website, ussahajayoga.org/Jan 2023 is fantastic. You can get onto any YouTube sessions to see old past recordings, handouts, and the other options are the WhatsApp groups. You can get on there, and there's spiritual messages that are put up by Sahaja Yogis on there, and a nice collective group on each one of those. And you can also request a mentor. So what's better than that? You get a one-on-one mentor with somebody that's been practicing Sahaja Yoga that would be happy to meet with you and help you grow in Sahaja Yoga. We have some breakout rooms. So this basically concludes the end of our session tonight. If you want to request a breakout room, I think somebody just put something in the chat. Yep, all this stuff is in the chat, so you guys are good to go with that. Type in the chat, breakout room help, to meet with a Sahaja Yoga teacher in a breakout room. And especially if you have a more personal question that you don't want in the main Zoom room. And somebody could also review what's been covered so far in the program. So I think those are, and tomorrow is end the day in silence is the foot soak meditation. And Thursday, our next program coming up, I think if you guys know Sia, she's this amazing musician. she's going to be hosting tomorrow, and they're going to talk about the Guru principle in the void, and the 10 aspects of the Guru, and all the wisdom of the great sages that are within us. So all the answers and all the wisdom are within, and we say in Sahaja Yoga, I am my own Guru. So that should be a great program on Thursday night, same time, same channel. And I think that is all of our announcements. Yep. So now if you want to stay in this main room, Tony, myself, and Neil will be talking about some of our personal experiences, answering any questions, things like that. And if you wanted to go into a breakout room to have a more personal, maybe one-on-one or a few people on one experience, feel free to request that. So if we could have Tony and Neil back up on the screen. Here we go. Hey guys.
Hi.
So we have some questions that we're gonna all try and answer for you guys, and maybe give you a little bit of our personal experience. And then I think we also give an opportunity for anybody watching to ask questions too. I think we do that. So our first question, I'll ask Neil. I'm going to put you right on the spot.
Sure.
Don't fall asleep on us yet. So how has Sahaja Yoga helped you to become less stressed in general? Please give some examples in your daily life.
Less stress in general. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been what I call stressed, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I don't generally get angry. I'm the kind of person that if I do get angry, then I kind of, like keep it. I don't show it. So I always appear to be calm. And I mean, usually there's not really much of a point in getting angry. It's more like you just get on with, what it is you need to do. Maybe you need to take a break, come back to it later. I think in general, just being in that meditative state all the time. So if you meditate, daily at least twice, and you keep yourself in balance, then you won't get stressed at anything, or the stress will be very minimal. And one of the ways to manage stress is to just witness the situation. So you don't necessarily have to get involved in all of the different pieces of the situation that's going on. You just kind of stand back and let it work itself out. Most of the time, at least 50% of the time, you don't need to do anything. And then the other 50, maybe you do. So yeah, generally just being in that meditative state as much as possible will just reduce any stress that comes.
Absolutely. Nice. And Tony, what do you think of stress? Modern term.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really liked Neil's answer there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to add other than in general, the daily practice of meditation, will reduce stress a lot. And then the other thing is maybe if you are more in the present moment, then you're able to enjoy things a bit. I know for me, one thing that helps a lot is, if there's, like nature seems to help a lot, help us reduce stress. So enjoying, like when you're walking by, a tree that's blossoming, check it out, if there's like a nice field of green, it's good to, enjoy the colors of the field, so I think part of it is, when nice things present themselves, then you really kind of enjoy them, and then, things don't build up as much. So sometimes little things help a lot during the day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Great answers. And my apologies to the listeners. This is not a Q&A so if you do have a question though, feel free to put it in the chat, and then and then somebody will let us know and we'll try and work that out for you. Or maybe they'll have you go on a breakout. I'm not sure. So yeah, so I'll jump on this stress one. I've come to this philosophy through like my experiences in Sahaja Yoga that stress is ego. So I'll just speak for myself, but when I'm stressed or I feel myself like overwhelmed with the tasks at hand, whatever they may be, I feel like I'm starting to feel like I have to do everything. I have to control this. I have to do that. And so I also honestly don't get stressed. I might get a little like wound up or excited, but even things that make me a little nervous, like let's say presenting here tonight, that might make me a little nervous, or I'm starting a new class like at the college that I teach at, and I don't know any, it's a whole new group of people and I get a little nervous. I don't call it stress, like it's now kind of excitement, because what could possibly go wrong? I'm not going to die. I mean, I will die someday, but that's okay too. And I'm not going to just drop dead in front of people. And so it just makes things like enjoyable, like to know that I don't have to control stuff makes things really fun. And that's like Shri Mataji talked about that in the talk, like that's the joy, like watching stuff unfold and just being like, what's today gonna bring? And that's, some people might be rolling their eyes out there, I don't know, but I'm going to just give like a quick example, because this literally happened to me on Monday. So I spent some time with folks from Sahaja Yoga over the weekend, and I felt really like, charged up, like I got all fueled up at the gas station and feeling good, So I went out Monday like, woo, like what are we good, like how's work gonna go today? And it was like fun, and I really enjoy my job because I get to meet people that I'm friendly with anyway and would hang out with anyway probably. And so I went to do some supervision with some of the people that I work with, and we meet at this coffee shop. And I know I have a really great job. I get to like meet over bagels and coffee and get paid. So, but I was sitting there with somebody, and I knew I had to email another person to ask for like some certification stuff that we needed to pass on to somebody. So it was kind of in the back of my head, like, oh, I got to get this person to give me this thing to give to somebody else. And it was sort of in my attention a little bit that I need to remember to do this. And I kid you not, I'm sitting there having coffee and a bagel with one person, and the person that I needed to email literally walks by and was like, oh, hi, Michelle. And I'm like, hey, send me that certificate. So like when we're connected, these things, like our jobs get easier, our day-to-day tasks, and the stress like doesn't happen because, if we're putting attention on more important things like our spirituality, then all the mundane stuff sort of works itself out. So I don't want to take up too much time with all my blabbing, but okay, the next one is, what do you do if you find yourself in a stressful situation? And what Sahaj practices help you calm down and detach in that moment? So I'll leave it up to you guys who feels like jumping in on that one. So what do you do if you find yourself in a stressful situation, and what Sahaj practices help you to be calm and detached in the moment?
I guess I'll go first. Yeah, I mean, definitely in that case, definitely the witness state is kind of the go-to thing to do, and then I guess put the attention at Sahasrara if one can manage, but yeah, definitely. I think that is one thing that really, when you get your self-realization in general, that you're not, there is kind of a detachment kind of gets triggered in us, we're not like, whatever, even if something's happening that's bad, we're just kind of seeing it, so definitely the witness state. And then I guess it can be hard if something really makes us react, or if we feel, I guess if we feel attacked or something, then maybe they will react, and it's harder to maintain the witness state. But then also to understand, if we're having strong reactions, then then maybe we're too identified with something. So yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
So basically, the witness state, if you can manage.
Yeah, great point
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the the being too attached if we're having that strong reaction.
yeah, definitely the witness state, and not getting involved directly with, say for example, a person who is who is already stressed, and so you're in a witness state. I mean, a stressful situation because of that. Then being in a witness state is definitely helpful. And then also, like, one thing you can do is you can add some positivity into the situation. So you can be, over polite towards that person, and just kind of, I don't know what the word is, but anyway, you just kind of beam some positivity towards them, and then it kind of makes it hard for them to throw any negativity back at you. So if you're the kind of person that we always say that we should speak sweetly. So once we clear our Vishuddhi chakra, then the way we communicate becomes a lot more effective and a lot sweeter. And so if we use our Vishuddhi chakra in that kind of situation where we're beaming positivity towards it, then we end up handling the stressful situation a lot better than if we didn't do that. So
Absolutely. Nice. Yeah, I also when probably I was trying to think back the last time I was really wound up about something, and really it had to do with something that was like you said it, Tony, like it was some attachment on my left side. From the left side we have like our past and our attachments and things like that. So it disturbed me because it was like some identification that I still had, or some weakness in a specific area. So like I I also, like, I was witnessing, but I also witnessed myself being upset, at the situation at the same time. And I knew that like the emotions would pass, so I just kind of rode out the storm. And then eventually like it sort of cleared off, and I used Sahaj techniques to like I knew it was a left-sided thing that was disturbing me, so I don't know if we've gone through like the candle stuff yet or anything, but we use a candle to sort of clear the left side if we feel too down or we like hurt or something like that. And I just kept on with it until it eventually sort of falls off. One thing I never miss is a foot soak. I don't want to go to bed with anything I've like encountered during the day. Like I always say, I don't want to curl up with any nonsense or whatever, like when I go to bed at night. So if you started foot soaking, like, I make it a real like commitment, like just don't miss it. And I don't feel good about going to bed if I like didn't put my feet in the water, even if my attention is all over the place. That one thing really, I know even on a physical level makes a big difference. So now our final question, how have you worked on clearing your chakras to be able to experience a deeper state of meditation and inner peace? Who's got it?
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to expand on your foot soaking advice. Yeah, that's I think for most, or maybe just all Sahaja Yogis, that's like the main go-to treatment that you should do, like even every day. Because all that negativity that that you experience, even though you don't see it or you don't think it's there, even though you might even have a day where you're not even interacting with people, but still there's some some heat, some that has somehow crept in. And for me, I really have to do the foot soak like every day. Otherwise, I mean, I can get away with it like maybe 1 or 2 days sometimes. But sometimes if I don't foot soak at all, then I just won't get to sleep because it's not that, you know, the meditation kind of brings you into a worse state. It's just that you're not satisfied with the clarity that you are used to. So, you know, when you meditate, you get to a certain level of clarity. And then if you don't clear out and get back to that level of clarity, then it kind of disturbs you and then you can't get to sleep, for example. So for me, I sometimes can't get to sleep and I'll fight it. I'll be in the bed with my, you know, just laying in the bed and just can't sleep. My feet are burning. And, you know, I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to go to sleep. I don't want to go downstairs. And then eventually around 4 a.m., then I have to just do a foot soak. And then I get to sleep. Get to sleep as soon as I like put my head down. So yeah, foot soak is one thing. Then ice pack also, just keeping the ice pack on the liver and even on the Swadhisthana also on the right side. And that helps a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, no, I think we're reaching quorum here on those things. Yeah, definitely the foot soak for me helps a lot, and the right Svadhisthana, does tend to get overheated, and maybe it's just from computer work or whatever, but definitely the right Svadhisthana, cooling that off, with usually I guess I don't really do the ice pack, but at least through the foot soak, and and then it kind of shifts everything a little bit, back towards, because just on the physically, the liver's kind of on the right, and then like the heart's on the left, but then if the liver cools down, then kind of shifts everything back, so then you can have your attention can be steady, so you can be more creative, and then you can feel more joy in the heart and stuff. So definitely the cooling down the right side is helps me a lot. Yeah,
Very much. Yeah. I'll put my 2 cents in too, as I was getting headaches a lot. I still do kind of. And I was really like sort of at that like desperate place, like just show me what it is, like show me what chakra like is disturbed and why I get these headaches. And I was actually at a Sahaj seminar where, I was when we're around Sahaja yogis, we feel more sensitivity a lot of the time. We start to get stronger vibrations because we're all together. And so I was just like praying, like, please show me, what it is, like what chakra is disturbed and why, these headaches come. And ironically enough, I felt a buzz right in the Swadhisthana chakra, like as if it was crazy. Like I got such a clear indication, like it felt like my cell phone was there vibrating, like getting a call. And I was like, whoa. So ever since I got that, like clear cut answer, I've been, putting attention on the Swadhisthana chakra. By doing some of the things that we do tonight. And like also, I think we're getting introduced to mantras slowly, but just doing some mantras on the Swadhisthana chakra, attempting to do that on like a daily or at least a few times a week, and really just honing in on the area that I know is weaker so that we can strengthen that weak spot. And then eventually it'll become so strong that nothing can penetrate it. And that's really what, the hopes sometimes, I think, with this stuff. But that was our final question. I'm dying to read this little excerpt, so I hope nobody minds, but it was like a little excerpt from Shri Mataji about the Swadhisthana chakra, which as I was, as I've been kind of putting attention on it and working a little more, on the cooling mantras for the liver and the right Swadhisthana. There's a little excerpt that Shri Mataji said here. To satisfy Swadhisthana, you have to take to silence. As you can see, I have no problem talking. So that's a problem, right? You have to take to quietude and look at yourself. Swadhisthana is very happy when you are just laughing and enjoying and not bothered about nonsense. So now don't allow your mind to bother about whatever nonsensical thoughts are coming. This is the work of Mr. Swadhisthana. He's trying to distract you. You must get into silence. Once you get into silence, then he'll go away and won't bother you. And that was from a talk in October of 2007 in Sydney, Australia. So with that, I don't know if anybody has any final words before we conclude the program. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. It was a lovely evening, and thank you for allowing me to host. I had a good time with this, and see you again on Thursday.